Okay, so back in December 2022, New Zealand passed this new law, right? The gist was that anyone born on or after the 1st of January 2009 could not buy cigarettes, right? Tobacco. Couldn't buy tobacco, which was like this huge thing, right, in their health prevention campaign, and everyone hailed it as incredible, right? The country would be smoke free by 2025. That's what they were looking at. Yeah, that's not happening anymore. That's done, right? Now, they're safe because this is the thing. You can put in policies and try and implement changes, but a government is in term for 4 years. So once the next crew come through, they can reverse anything. And if your policies haven't actually been embedded yet, that's even easier to scrap. And that was the case here. Right? These laws were meant to go into play. Oh God, when was it? I think it's June next year, right? June or May 2024. That's when everything was meant to kick in. But yeah, not happening now. Not happening because the country's new prime minister he said that they're going to use the sales of cigarettes for tax cuts. Doesn't say what those tax cuts would be helping, right? So, in a way, like tax cuts could be beneficial to people. Who knows? Like they haven't specified. But yeah, cigarettes will still be on sale. Now, New Zealand did have the lowest rate of smoking in the world, supposedly. Supposedly. Because how do you know, right? Like you do surveys and things like that. The amount of people I know that used to lie about smoking, right? And lie it not just kind of like I don't smoke, but there's just smoking. But they would say things like, oh, I hardly ever smoke. I just have one every now and again. It might be every other month, probably, something like that. And then you see them and they're chain smoking, and you're like, what? I mean, this is the first time in ages. And I said, I saw you smoking yesterday, right? So they've deluded themselves into thinking they don't really smoke. Or it's like, I only smoke when I drink. And it's like, you drink every day. You know what I mean? So how do they know it's the lowest rates? Because, yeah, people could just be lying, right? But supposedly, New Zealand had the lowest rates of smoking. So, some people question, did we need this law? Did we need this policy? Now, I don't, it's a weird one, really, I think, because smoking, I do not smoke. I'm not a fan of smoking. It smells disgusting, right? It smells disgusting. And I'm glad people can't smoke in restaurants, on buses, in the motherfucking cinema, right? Because it was always, you know what I mean? Like, oh, smoking is downstairs, non-smoking is upstairs, right? That was always a thing in cinemas, on the buses, wherever you went. And it never made any sense because we know smoke rises. Smoke rises. It would have made more sense if the smokers were up and everyone else was down, you know? So I'm glad that's the case, that I do not have to sit in these motherfucking smoky spaces. Right? When smoking was on planes, smoking was at the front of the plane, none is at the back. It's just like smoke travels, right? They're not in a sealed compartment. What are we doing? But I believe everyone should be able to do, for the most part, the things they want to do. Because when you look at so many other unhealthy things, like you can still drink, alcohol is still on sale, right? You know, processed foods are still on sale. You know what I mean? Like sugar still on sale. And these aren't in small quantities, these things are fine, right? If you live a healthy life, you do certain things, none of those things are gonna fuck you up for the most part, right? If you've got some genetic issue, some autoimmune thing, then yeah, those things could be very damaging to you. But for the most part, most people would be fine. So it's just like, if you just smoked, I was gonna say liberally, but that's not a thing, is it? It's like just once or twice. Because I think nicotine isn't actually bad for you. It's the shit they put in these cigarettes that is the problem. Right? So I think, you know, you should be able to, if you want to smoke, fine, smoke. Just do it in your own crib. You know what I mean? Like do it outside where it's not going to affect other people. But yeah, just whatever, do it. You know? Because like you can get opioids at the doctors, right? Just you think some of the drugs that are prescribed by doctors, not good for you. So there's so many things that are not good for you, but we still allow them. So it's kind of weird to just ban smoking, you know? It's kind of weird, right? And I think with most things, fix the education system, right? If you fix that, if you tell people the realities of things and do it properly, don't do the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, these are your lungs. These are your lungs on smoking, right? It's just don't just show people pictures. Talk to them about all the things that can impact their lives because of this. You know what I mean? Like how it can, because when you speak to smokers, they're like, yo, I cannot make it up a full flight of stairs without stopping and catching my breath. Right. Then they stop smoking and be like, yo, I feel like I can do more. I can, have these real conversations, and you're preventing people from doing it. People will be like, yo, I do not want that. Right. I like running around. I want to impact that, right? You know what I mean? Education is a big tool. So yeah, do those things. Let people smoke. If they want to smoke, and also, right? Aren't we saying the planet is overpopulated? Well, let the bozos smoke, and then they're gone. Right? Hey, it's guilt it's guilt-free genocide. So yeah, let them go. Let them smoke. Who gives a fuck? And especially if the tax cuts are gonna help other things, right? If they're gonna help other things, then fine. The only thing is, don't try and sell this as you're doing people a favor. No, 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 no. Obviously, these politicians were given some, you know, backdoor fundings, right? They were given little payoffs, made promises. We'll probably see some of them go work for some major fucking, tobacco company once their term is over, right? We know how this shit works. So that's why this has gone through, right? That's why New Zealand have changed this policy, right? That's the real reason. Let's be real. You know what I mean? So let's be real about it, motherfuckers, right? We know why you changed the law. But hey, just say no, right? As the great Grange Hill once said, just say no. I mean, that was for drugs. This is for smoking, right? Just say no, people. Don't bother.